Okay, so I think I'm live. Been told to just let it run for a bit, just so people tune in. At the moment, we've got no one. Got 3 people now. I presume that's Harry, Jamie, and I apologise, I'm not sure about who the other guy is in the tuxedo. So yeah, Harry Golden. Hi Harry. Jamie Reed. Alright mate. I understand you're going to Turley Court on Wednesday. That should be awesome, I hope. Harry Golden, my hero. Not today, I wasn't. Apologise, someone's crying outside. We're just told to wait for a few people to come on. So Kev Morse, Chris Simpson, Steve Tucker. Cool, I am privileged. Who else? Steve Heath, I mate. Anthony Rollins, aka Rowley. Elvis, I mate. Just wait for 30, one more person, and I'll get going. Oh, drop down 24, shit. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to swear. Right, there you go, 30. Right, so I've got a couple of questions then I got asked. So Gary Etheridge said, what type of venue is my favourite venue? Probably these days commercial, to be honest. If I had to choose one venue and be brutal, might upset some people, and I apologise if I do upset anybody who's watching it, or when I, get saved or whatever. Probably Alf Church, just great venue. Like, I don't know, probably Horseshoe, because you just don't know what you're going to get. In the sense that, there's a lot of barbel in there, there's bream in there, there's carp in there, and there's a lot of get out of jail fish. The canal is just awesome. Just especially in summer, don't really matter where you draw too much. A lot of carp, barbel, eye, just loads of bites, happy days. So yeah, I mean, if you go back like 20 years ago, then probably love the Kent Haven Canal at Marlborough. It was amazing, but I think them days are gone. Just loads of boats. Not blaming the boats, just the way things are. I don't think them size of them fish now will never be the same. You used to catch 200 roach and weigh anything from like 10 to 15 pound. Now if you caught 200 roach, you probably weigh 8 pound, and that would be pretty impressive to catch that amount of roach now for Marlborough. Big perch and skimmers on end pegs. So yeah, Tony Alvis, thank you for the lobworm advice. So the advice was just given how to keep them. Basically, just get some topsoil, put it in a big container, and get some turf, and just basically just rotate the turf. So buy some turf and B&Q, and then just make sure that you change it like every sort of week, so the grass doesn't actually die, and maybe remove some of the worms from the actual turf, and yeah, they just keep forever. So if you pick your worms like in the winter, put them a load of topsoil and turf in a big container, happy days. Tom Hobbs, Rough Rider, said, do you think there's a way back for match fishing of 30 years ago, and what do you think can be done? I'm probably asking the wrong person. I'm just a nobody, ain't I? You got to think, like, now there's so many venues. So 30 years ago I was 10. There was nowhere near as many venues as what there used to be now. So the anglers have obviously like fragmented. So for me, I've got like an hour radius. There's so many venues I could choose and go to. Whereas 30 years ago, you didn't have that luxury. Maybe there's a lot of club waters and stuff, but you know, like I remember fishing like South Cerney, going with my dad when I was probably about 12, and there'd be like 60 people on a club match. Winter leagues like 144 people probably when I was about 15, so that's 25 years ago, not 30. But you look at all the anglers like fish the winter leagues now, they're all old. I mean, I'm 40, and you get the winter leagues now, I'll probably still be relatively quite young. There's a few people that are younger than me, obviously, but in the grand scale of things, I'm still a reasonably young angler, and that sort of like natural sort of fishing. I think fishing's quite good with all the qualifiers if that's your thing. Obviously, they're quite expensive, so there's a lot of varieties, loads of commercial venues, and obviously the natural venues are still there, aren't they? So you still got loads of venues you could fish if you choose to. So I think now maybe fishing's better, dare I say it, better for the variety. There's just something for everyone. If you're into fishing your rivers, then happy days. If you like your canals, and happy days. And if you like your commercials, well, you can pick the commercial that you actually want to fish. I hope this was working. No one's moaned at me yet. Let's just scroll through. Yeah, no questions at the moment. Love you, Chris. Tony Alves, is he on the Jack Daniels? John Aldridge, alright Frankie, I guess that's Frankie Boyle. Bloody hell scary. Cheers, Mr. Lee. Clive Branson, okay Chris, I guess it's working then. Evening, Mr. Collins. Hello, buddy. Right, Mr. Harrington. Hello, mate. What all round pole would you recommend? I don't know. Depends on what your budget is, Mr. Dickinson. Yeah, wow, for me, at the stage, I'd still say it now. Like I love my Comic F44 pole. I believe you still can get spares for it. I got a Browning Z9. That's quite an all-round pole, but then it's, you know, what is it? They're about 1,800 quid. There's loads, like a Garbellino UK3. Frank Donachie loves his. Probably would have been better for me to buy one of them than a UK one. I think I'm a bit too ham-fisted. Not there's anything wrong with a UK one, just that, you know, UK3, hauling and all the rest of it. So yeah, just shop around, man. To be honest with you, now there's so many decent poles on the market. You know, just shop around. I think there's going to be some absolute bargains around because of everything that's going on with the coronavirus and stuff. I think unfortunately a lot of companies might be struggling, so you might get a great deal. Steve Bellion, A up Chris, alright mate, he's a pace legend. If you could change anything in fishing and in matches, what would it be? Anthony Rowlands. The social aspect. I mean, when I was like my early 20s, you had like 100 people fishing the winter leagues. Maybe, yeah, about 100. Yeah, it was about 120 people. Everyone went back to the pub. And I think that sort of, not to drink, just to get the results and sort of banter, team meetings, stuff like that. Every Thursday, I remember like picking up Neil Richards and taking him to the meetings. And I remember like Algan days with Danny Bowain and Frank Donachie and stuff like that. You know, that's sort of gone really. I suppose like the sort of like social aspect with like open matches now. You know, you weigh in. Something like, say, on Fish Manor, Dave will drive around with his car and give you an envelope if you're lucky to frame, or, you know, if I pack up in time, then there's no sort of presentation. There's no, you know, people don't seem to want it no more. There's nothing to go back for, if that makes sense. If there was like, yeah, the social aspect of fishing, I think, is like a little bit missing. Awkward one, I guess. So yeah, so what would I change? Maybe try and make things a bit more sort of like friendly, I guess. What's your thoughts on venues with bait limits? I think it's a good thing. I reckon, like going back to like Tom Up saying what could be done, maybe like you could have matches. I said this before, like you pay like 30 quid pools or 35 quid pools and everybody gets the same bait. You know, bait companies might not like that, but you know, to make it on like a level playing field, so everybody's got like, I don't know, 2 pints, 3 pints of pellets and ground bait, maggots or whatever. So, you know, you could do that for some matches. I don't know if it would work, but yeah. Bait limits, I hate it on like white acres. I remember I used to fish white acres a few times, and you used to like, you know, is it like was it 8 units? But because I didn't know the venue in that, sometimes you just be into the match, so you got 8 point limit, and you just think, oh, I wish I had freaking 6 mil pellets rather than 4, or I wish I had 8, or I wish I took a bit more meat, or I wish I took this, or I wish I took that. So sometimes you sort of like ruin your match by not taking the right baits. But like Alf Church, for example, you know, 2 kilos of pellets, paste, yeah, that's all right. 3 pints of maggots, casters. I'd like it to be more, if I'm honest. But you know, Mark Olds, owner, don't want to do that, so that's fine. You got, you know, take it on the chin. I mean, you can still bulk out with corn or hemp, which I've learnt. So you know, just do that. Put a lot of corn through a food blender, you know, like you get a Garbolino like food processor things in it, like cut up your worms. You can just put a lot of corn with that. That works really well. Don't tell anyone. There's only 50 people watching, so that's all right. Elvis, I'm 53. All right. Happy days. You look younger, to be honest. Aaron Pickett, all right, mate. Yeah, cool. Chris, what's the best pole you've used and thoughts on the Comet F66? Yeah, it's a nice pole. I had a couple of issues that coming apart. I'll probably get slated for that, but yeah, it's all right. I mean, there's loads of good poles there. It's a little bit heavy, but then it's really, really strong. Never broke a section of the F66. Never broke a section of F44. I'd sooner have a heavier pole, really, because it just lasts longer. So what do I think of the F66? Yeah, it's all right pole. Yeah, definitely. Paul Dickinson, I'm 49 tomorrow. Scott McGee, how you keeping? Yeah, all right. Wish I was working, to be honest. But with everything going on, the coronavirus and being a driving instructor, that just ain't gonna happen. Safety first, isn't it? Just feeling it a little bit financially, but it'll come back, I'm sure. How do you get roped into this, Aaron Pickett? I don't know. Martin Howard's watching. Come on, I'm surprised he ain't took the mickey yet. Oh yeah, my hero. Come and fish the match at Slimbridge this weekend, mate. Oh, Wayne Dalton. Yeah, well done for. I think I read. I hope I've got it right. I urge you won your section by default with a 2-ounce perch. Yeah, so fair play. Gloucester Canal's a funny one, isn't it? Pleasure fish it. It's great on your own. Put a match on it. It just seems to just switch off. It's weird. Michael Lane. How did Ivy House fish today? Fished really well. I was on Heron. Karen drew me peg 22. Bungole at £123, which weren't very good halfway in the section. So 8 in a section. I think I was third. Vince Brown won it. Peg 8 my section with £138. Dave Wilmont on peg 10 had £132. I think Mark Kimber won his section with 120ish. So there's 2 sections. I think Andy Dixie done well on the big lake. I believe Des Shit done well on peg 39 on Kingfisher, but I'm not sure how Moran won. I'm not sure how Moran fished. Me, Lion, paste expert, Ollie B. Vic Bush, alright Vic. Craig Curtis, evening dude, aka Soggy. Paul Dickinson, thanks mate. Yeah, it's a hard question to answer because, like, you know, what car would you buy? It'd be that sort of question, wouldn't it? What car would you buy? Well, what's your budget? What'd you fish? You know, I see some of your posts and stuff. You like catching carp and that, so you probably want to get a strong, but then a bit heavier pole. It lasts longer, heavier poles, anyway, in my opinion. Simon Jones is watching. Keith Harden is watching. Paul Older is watching. Steve Tucker missed the social side with team matches. Yeah, definitely, 100%. That's what I said earlier. Yeah, but I don't think it's ever going to come back. There's nothing. People don't want it. I mean, I'm 20 stone, 40 years old. Could I carry all my kit through Radcut? Nah. You know, and you got people like in their 60s now. People just don't want it. Turn up the commercial. You know, it's easy. Park behind your peg, unload your gear. Happy days. Any tips on shallow fishing, Chris? Steve Heath. Just keep feeding, innit? Just keep feeding, keep working, changing depths. Our question to answer depends what it is, innit? Where you're fishing. Like some places they just larp in maggots like short, and once they come on it, happy days. It's just a case of a race. If if you're talking like ivy and stuff. Aaron might come like that. Get like the Match Lake, Willow, bit different. You have to chase them bigger fish. Obviously, it's changed a little bit now. It's a lot shallower and stuff. So, you know, old days you might have to kit up a rig that was 1 foot, 3 foot, you know, and then like a long swinging rig. Obviously, you can't do that now because it's a 1 meter limit with line. Keith, hi Chris. All right, Keith. Richard, I thought Frankie Boyle had a Scottish accent. Yeah, he has. I am Frankie Boyle. Get called it a lot though. Brian, I agree. The social part has gone. Envelope, bye. It's a shame. Yeah, it is. Definitely. Steve Bellion, good idea. Yeah, I got a few good ideas. Mark Popton's watching. Well done today. I think you caught quite well, Mark. I understand. I think Garrett, I was on the phone with Gary. He said you had £150. Fair play. Go back over Balkan out at our church. Go back over Balkan at our church. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Lewis. I'm not the brightest. Go back Balkan out. Yeah, just I think you might just mean by bulk and bait out. Yeah, like corn, hemp, real cheap baits. They love it. And let's pay it, 3 pints of cast is a reasonable amount of bait, but when you fishing like down the edge or shallow, it soon runs out quite fast, to be honest. But yeah, hemp, and obviously fishing like worms, heads and stuff like that. How you doing, Pace Master? I ain't no Pace Master. Steve Benning, what's your favourite match venue? Why? Just like I said, probably at Alf Church, if I'm honest. It's not too far away from me, an hour. Just get loads of bites, quite friendly. It's just nice, isn't it? I mean, Top of Manor is something else. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it's quite far for me. It's a couple of hours to get there. Phenomenal venue. But it's really hard to beat the locals, big time. Some very good anglers get there and quite some specialised anglers. But if it was more local, I probably would go there a bit more, but it ain't, so I don't. Craig Lee White should let Pano try and break one. Well, he breaks everything, doesn't he? Oh, every month I see he's got a broken section. He must have shares with Dower, I reckon. Bless him. Wayne Dalton, hashtag £40 perch, laugh out loud. Yeah, default, yeah, 40 quid, happy days. Des broke the match record, £268. Des won with 168. I was that today, I guess, on Kingfisher. I didn't stay because Andy was weighing everybody in, I believe. So because obviously social distance and that, he's got all the nets he's got all the keep nets actually at the peg ready. So when he comes to weigh you in, you got to get out of the way, and he just pulls them all out, fair play, and just weighs everybody in. So yeah, to keep everyone safe, good idea. I brought a Dower strong bean 12 years ago, and it's still strong as the day I brought it. Yeah, happy days. Yeah, well, Dower make good polls. You know, we were discussing it today. You look at the market, people that ain't sponsored, I'd probably say Dower's probably still got the top end market of polls, to be fair. Pace Masters were at Turley yesterday. Oh, one of Lara's matches, yeah. Jason Robinson, he's doing quite well. What method won Heron today? Vince Brown, he won it on the method, I believe, or a pellet feeder on peg 8. Steve Bennion, what hook is your preference for pace fishing? I don't know why you're asking me that. You're probably better than me at pace fishing, to be fair. Oh, got some more messages. I just use a drenning cart feeder, to be honest. I'd just tie a knotless knot, and then the hook always kinks in, go 3 times back up. That's what I use, but yeah. Tony Alves, do you feed your edge lines from the off, Chris, or do you leave it till later? It depends on the venue. Sometimes if you're really lucky, you can feed down the edge, go straight on it and catch, and then then they disappear, and then just feed it later. Sometimes on Ivy, I might do it tomorrow, depending on where I draw. I might put like a pot of bait in and go straight on it, and hopefully catch, one of them stupid fish. But depends on the venues. A lot of times, these venues, you don't feed it until you really want to sort of go on it, to be fair. Maybe feed it 20 minutes before you intend to go on it. It always seems to be the latter stage of the match. But our question to answer, because it depends on the venue. Have you entered Fishermania this year? Yeah, I got a couple of matches. I got one at Ehrenbrook and I got one at Lakeside. So yeah, that's this month actually. Favorite brand of elastic? Have you tried the solid silk style over the hollow stuff? I use that Dan's elastic, to be honest, which is very similar to the Matrix stuff. So yeah, I like it. The only issue with like the solid silk stuff or similar is obviously if you're fishing next to like snags or fishing against like snake lakes, for example, you've got to be very careful if you're at the far bank or anything. If you're fishing savage gear, that if you've got to pull for a break, then it can unfortunately break. Whereas hollow elastic sort of gives you that chance that, if you pull for a break, the likelihood is elastic won't actually break. But open water and that solid core or whatever you want to call it, the Matrix silk elastic, really good in my opinion, just lasts longer. Yeah, I really like it, to be honest. Do you catch shallow on 22 or fish the method as well? Willie Wilson. No, you gotta be really careful on herring, because if you try and do too much, you'll just disappear. So I made my stall that I was going to catch on the pole. I had a couple of rods with me, but I left them in the van, so I had to make the pole work. So yeah, I just fished maggots and slop up in the water. Should have done it sooner. Maybe should have just tried to bring them in a bit closer. I fished 16, then got them 14 and a half. I felt with every peg in, I probably thought I wouldn't catch down the edge, and then last 20 minutes I went down the edge and it was pretty solid. But I don't know if it would have lasted if I would have gone down there sooner. And obviously if you're catching fish or chuck, you don't really want to come off it. But 138 and then 132, and I had 123. That's probably 30 fish short. So I was a bit off the pace, to be honest. Mark Whippet, yeah, you asked me a question, wasn't it, about being more tidy? Nah, if it caught more fish I would, but it don't, so I won't. And then was it John Aldridge? What's the first match win? I'm not sure. Probably when I was probably 12, South Surrey, I would have thought. I honestly can't answer that question. I was thinking about it today, driving to Ivy. Well, I don't know. Ian Wood, diet tips. Well, if you look at me, I'm really fat, so probably not a good idea for me to give advice on diets. Great comments, buddy. Catch you soon. Stay safe. Tight lines. Cheers, Ryan. Evening, mate. What's your best match results to date? Kevin Dalton. I don't know. Gary Etheridge asked me. No, was it Gary Etheridge? Yeah, I think Gary Etheridge asked me what was my best ever match. Yeah, it was. Gary Etheridge asked me what was my best ever match win. Probably Sutton Benja. I can't remember how many years ago it was. We had a Wednesday match, and I drew just below the pheasant pounds on the a slight bend. I've caught way over 200 gudgeon, and I've had 2 great big bream late. Won the match. I think I had about £19 or something. So brilliant day's fishing. And then we had the Winter League, and there's 144 pegs, and I could not believe my luck. I've gone and drawn the same peg, which is just unheard of. And then I've gone and won the match, the old Winter League, which is, quite a nice thing to do, win a 144 peg match. I think, I can't even remember what I weighed, about £40. Not a gudgeon. I've had about 100 gudgeon early, and then I've just gone on the skimmer line, bream line. And fair play, it was solid. So yeah, that was a good win. Probably most important win to me was winning my dad's memorial at Bourton on the Water. But it's only a 12 pegger or whatever. So, but more sentimental that match. But actually winning a match, obviously, Sutton Benja was pretty good. Qualified for Fisho years ago. That was quite a big match. I think that was like 90 people or so. I couldn't believe it. Drew an MPEG. I said to Darren Scott in the morning, I wouldn't mind drawing, I can't remember what it was, like in the 60s or something, and freaking ended up drawing it. So, one of them lucky days, really. So, yeah, hopefully that answers it. Favourite venues, canals, rivers, or commercials? Gary Etheridge. Yeah, I answered the question earlier. So, commercials, I'm afraid, Gary. If we could go back 20 years, I'd say canals. I loved Marlborough. It was awesome, had some great days there. A few bad ones, take the rough with the smooth, especially when it went really cold and clear. You could quite easily blank there, unfortunately. Mark Whippet, you've been drinking. Why are you such a legend? What's your best ever match? Yeah, probably that Sutton Benja, Gary, to be honest. Just one of them matches that on the Winter League, everything went right. For cuts and some ground bait, and then bait dropper worms over the top, real long pole, and then just fish for these gudgeon for I can't remember how long it was, probably about an hour. It just had an explosion of them, and then just went long and happy days. Obviously, bream just settled over it. Steve Madden, is Gary Etheridge the biggest legend in match fishing? He probably comes close. Fair play to him, he never lies. Always tells the truth. Got a liking for that. Known him for years. Yeah, it's quite scary actually, known him over half my life. Simon Duke, funny day today, Chris. Yeah, it was. Well, it's just a nightmare. Just wish you could fish 6 inches deep today. Wouldn't have, lost quite so many fish. Probably lost 40 fish today. Clive Branson, question from John Walker. What's your take on the future of match fishing? Wow. Still pretty good in it. Still loads of people go fishing. Just saying that, there's just a little bit fragmented with people going to so many different venues. Hopefully this coronavirus will disappear, and then we can just get back to normal. I think there still is a future with match fishing, obviously. A lot of people still do it, but define match fishing, you got like your small matches, like your 20 peggers or 10 peggers or whatever, still competitive, and then obviously you got if you're not into that and you want to fish bigger matches, and I think there's something for everyone, which is good. You know what I mean? Frank Donachie is watching. How do you stay so enthusiastic, hero? What, monotone probably? I'm just thinking, I'm hungry, I want to eat my tea, and I got to get my kit ready tomorrow. Got to do some pace rigs, proper man's gear, some proper edge rigs as well. Gary Etheridge, don't be silly. What about you been a legend? Well, yeah, you are, and I have known you over half my life. Jason Crump. Hey, Jason, you owe us £4, double or quits. Ed Bryant, evening, buddy. 3 biggest angling heroes. Neil Richards, Kev Rolls, Mick Denton, definitely. Yeah, owe them guys a lot. If you could have one bait only, what would it be and why? John Walker. Why would you ask a question like that? It depends on what venue, doesn't it? I guess maggots just catch everything, don't you? If you had to choose one bait, just maggots, to be honest. Or pellets for commercials. So yeah, if I had to choose one bait for anything, maggots. Then if you said, oh, what one bait would you choose for commercials, I'd say pellets. Oh, my hands are hurting holding this phone. Pins and needles. What's your angling heroes and who would you like to fish with? Wow, I fish with them, to be honest, Anthony. Yeah, probably embarrassed Neil. Yeah, Neil's one of my angling heroes. Kev Rolls is my angling hero. Mick Denton's one of my angling heroes. Don't fish with Mick Denton now. See him now and again. He still messages me a bit, so we still stay in contact. He helped me a lot when I used to fish with Drone in Oxford. Real nice guy, fair play. So yeah, you know, I think heroes should be the people that you actually know, not some person that, you know, I don't know, like Steve Ringer, for example, brilliant angler, a lot of people's heroes. I respect him, but I don't know him. I'd sooner a hero be someone I actually know. So like, you know, Richards, Kev Rolls, and Mick Denton, who are fantastic anglers. Gary Etheridge, true legend. God, Gary, you got a lot of likes here, haven't you? What have you been doing during the lockdown? No work. Yeah, I've done a bit of prep. I found it a little bit boring. Done a lot of gardening, to be honest. Done some bike rides, which hurt my ass. I hadn't rode a bike for about 20 years, maybe longer. So yeah, learned how to use the camera. Watched quite a lot of like demos and stuff on YouTube. To how to start using the camera properly, rather than just pointing and clicking, which I still do really now. What's your best match weight ever, and how did you attack it? Roll Slate, 394 pound off peg 8. Just filled it in 5 meters. Used to on pace. It was unreal venue. And used to like literally just throw out. Wow, basically what you wanted to do is hook the fish and then feed. Just is honestly just like handfuls of pellets. So Wednesday matches, and Rolfs years ago used to only have matches like Wednesday, Saturdays, Sundays, and that was it. It was shut. So Wednesday evening matches were mega because they were just, they were hungry. I never fished a venue where you could feed like 15 pints of pellets on the deck. Unreal. Them days are gone now, and the fish have got real big, real wide. So you won't be doing that now. If you do that now, then it would just be carnage. They'd swim round the bait, to be honest. John Walker, worms. Well, you got worms, or that's your favourite number one bait? Favourite canal peg? So go for Kent Avon. Oh God, probably I've never drawn it, never fished it. Probably the pile where the mouth of the marina is. I'd love to go there. That'd probably be quite mega, I'd imagine. I know the wharf at Bedwin's pretty good. I've done a feature there. I couldn't believe how good that was. The water was gin clear. Pleasure fishing, it was solid. Actually, I probably might choose Lower Dunmill. Actually, the mouth of the marina might do your head in if it's really busy with boats. Because obviously that marina at the Pile is really busy, a lot of boats there. So I probably would choose Lower Dunmill, first peg in where that water comes in. I think Gary Etheridge actually had that peg in a match and had a decent weight, didn't he? I think he had about £30. But don't quote me on that because I do get things wrong. And he is a legend, Gary Etheridge. What's your goal in 2021, John Walker? Stay alive. Don't catch coronavirus. But obviously fishing related. Don't know, I just want to enjoy fishing really. That's why I just do things I like. You know, the qualifiers are alright, but I don't know a lot of people, so the banter ain't quite there. And obviously a lot of people there to do well, so, you know, expensive matches. Just enjoy going to Health Church, enjoy going to Ivy House. You know, I just like going fishing with my mates really. Got old. Corrections tier, your best match weight, £395. Oh yeah, forgot that. Sorry, Mr. Donachie, don't hurt me. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, £395 in 4 hours. Yeah, that was quite mega that day. Yeah, so Ridgeway, people don't know it's South Cerny. Frank ran a double header Saturday and Sunday, 2 4-hour matches, so 4 matches in total. Really lucky, drew an MPEG. It was the evening match, and basically it was unbelievably solid. Just caught down the edge, great. You know, pulled the nets out, obviously. The morning match, and then when I ride to the peg, we'd like done a redraw. There's just loads of fish down the edge. They just obviously thought we all gone home. You know what I mean? Pulled the nets out, stood the bottom, weighed the fish in, put them back. Yeah, pretty mega to be honest. Replying for I was just about to say the same. Wayne Dalton. Yeah, sorry. You hold a few match records. Tell us where and what weights. Trying to think now. Put me on the spot. I had a £270 at Alchurch, but I think that's got beat. Someone else had a bigger weight. I think Liam had a bigger weight than that. Oh, Manor Farm had a £353. I'm trying to think what else. Wickwater, that was a club match though, so 40 like that. I can't think what it was. I think it's a 3-hour match. I can't remember. Years ago. I think I had £200 in 3 hours, I think. I can't remember. What else we got? I have some banter with you, Chris, when we go to White Acres. Oh, Tony. Yeah, you will. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it will be mega banter at White Acres this year, because obviously I don't know if the pubs will be open. And also, even if the pubs are open, I don't even know if I would really want to go in them. I'm not much of a drinker anyway, but, you know, just for safety reasons and stuff, I don't know if you would really want to mix like we normally do. We normally sit by the telly and make lots of noise. Normally Derek Newson handing out pound coins, which is quite funny. Mark, are we going to see more of you in team fishing? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just see how it goes, really. Hopefully a team of devices will start doing well in that, and then, yeah, if I need it, I'll fish. We'll see. I just feel there's better anglers than me and the team that fish, natural venues, to be honest. Rake Swim Ridgeway. Rake Swim Ridgeway. I remember that. John Walker. You won last year's Manor Farm Leisure May Festival. How did you do it? Drew some absolute bungholes. Got lucky. Normally Manor does my head in on 5-day festival. Can't drop any results. I normally have one bummer because obviously don't want to swear. Day 1 I drew peg 27 on middle, and when I arrived to my peg it was like loads of fish down the edge milling around and stuff, and then pretty gutted actually, because when the match actually started they just filtered away. I actually thought I was going to do the match record. So I can't remember what I weighed. I think I had 60 pound and third in the section. Don't quote me on that. I didn't do great. Next day I think I drew Ashpool and just won the lake, section, 10 people on the lake, with I think 60 pound fish worms, shallow and soil. Just put it in peat, holds up in the water a lot longer. So that was pretty good. Then the next day I drew peg 24 on windmill, fish worms and castles on the deck against the island. That was awesome. I had 147 pound. I think I had about 40 pound of skimmers and just over 100 pound of like F1s, and I had one big carp right over death, so that was good. Then the next day I drew peg 16 on island. I think I come third on the lake section. Messed it up. It's probably like a bomb and pellet peg, maybe. I don't know. There's so many options there. I think I caught on worms again. Worms and topsoil. Get it down. I think I had a couple of fish on like the lead, but weren't very good with that, to be honest. You need a lesson off 40 really. He's really good at that. I mean that sincerely. He is very good on that lead. And then last day, drew peg 39 on boundary. Played it safe, fish worms again, and caught quite a lot of skimmers. I can't remember what I weighed, about 60 pound. Then caught some fish on the Mong late, so Martin Howard's favourite method. So I had a little bit of ripple, been pinging a few pellets all match. And then I was next to Dave Howard, who was on 37, and he started a catch on it, so I followed suit basically and caught a few F1s. I fished hard that day. It's weird. I think Tony Winston had peg 19 on Thursday, really struggled. I mean, like, really struggled. And then, I can't remember his name, I apologise. And the guy's like won the lake, I think, off 19, and the other guy opposite on 31's caught. So it's weird, like, where the fish weren't caught the day before, for whatever reason, they decided to move down that way. I thought I was in for a good shout to win the lake. Been on 39 MPEG, but it just fished really hard. So yeah, so what did I have then? I had 2 section wins and I think 3 thirds. Yeah, I think that's right. 11 points I think I had and won it, which normally would never win it. You normally would need like less than double figures to win it, to be honest. So yeah, it was quite a hard but enjoyable week at Manor. John Walker's asked me lots of questions. What do you dislike most about your fishing habits? Don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Maybe you always fish the pole too much. Maybe fish same venues. Maybe I should venture out, but I like going to the same venues, make friends, like fish with my mates, have a bit of a crack. So I don't think I've got any real bad habits. Maybe a bit messy. What's your biggest weight on a natural venue, Hero? Tom Driver. Probably 40 pound, probably at Sutton Benja, I think. I can't remember ever doing a massive weight. Also won this year's Winter League at Alvechurch. Methods. Yeah, got lucky again. Drew some quite good pegs. I just fed less basically. Probably one of my biggest weaknesses is just feeding too much bait. So yeah, maggots on the pole, and then I caught a lot of fish on expanders, to be honest with you, on horseshoe, just fishing double expander and fishing a little cage feeder with a little bit of bait. Popped up bread don't seem to work so well there, and a pellet feeder or a method in the winter probably not a good idea. They like maggots. Maggot feeder could be quite good, but I just went all out little cage double expander. That done quite well for me. And then yeah, just pellets basically, pellets and on what's the lake called, Arrow. Just fished really long, 17 meters, and then caught on pellets on one of the matches, and then maggots on the canal was probably best baits, to be fair. All pole fishing. So yeah, apart from horseshoe, where a couple of times I think I caught on a little cage feeder with double expander, but don't tell anyone. Do you think we'll be going away at Acres? Jason Robinson. Yeah, I think we will in September. So Swindon on tour, I guess you are on about. But I think unfortunately the random like draw for the pairs, what we do, and all going to the pub, after the result. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the matches will happen, but I think the crack in the evening, I don't think it's going to be there. How do I approach the canal tomorrow? Well, parts, let me know which one you draw, really. Probably speak to Des, because he had a big weight today. Probably look on his Facebook page, he'll tell you all about it. I think a lot of fishes get caught long parts, to be honest with you. Pellets, maggots. You can catch pace down the middle. You probably could catch on pellets down the middle. But I think a lot of it is just like fishing long, down the middle and down the edge. Just do what you want to do. Corner micros work well on kingfisher. I don't really know enough about moor end, to be honest with you. I'll probably, with the whitefish worms against the far bank on moor end, just catch everything that swims. Don't think I'd do that at kingfisher. I think I'd fish pellets, to be honest. Pellets and maggots. How do you feel about today's result on herring? A little bit disappointed, if I'm honest. Not with the venue, with myself. Just wish I obviously caught a bit more, But take it on the chin. Fair play, Vince Brown's done really well. Catch 138 pound on a method feeder or pellet feeder. That's going some, because the fish obviously are quite small. So yeah, I disappeared. What's going on? There you go, that's better. Press the wrong button. Right, sorry. I'm going to have to shoot soon because I can smell my dinner. Why do you only fish against clubbers? Gary Donachie. Because I am a clubbie myself. Hope you're well, Tally-o. Lipsy. Yeah, I'm alright, mate. Alright, mate, what venue would you love to match fish, but you're not allowed to? What venue would you love to match fish, but you're not allowed to? Can't think of anywhere really. Probably in its heyday, like Wickwater. I wish there was some opens on Wickwater, but that is a club venue. That's no pun to Steve Ford or Gary Donachie. That in its heyday, that was mega, but it's a club water, so why should they allow open matches to be there? So that was probably the only venue that I wish there was opens there. It was States Lake at South Cerney. That was mega. Still good now, but fish big wise. Yeah. Why don't you fish the Gloucester Canal more, Chris? Tom Driver. Just I look at the results and it scares me. Like I see the results. Who ran the match this weekend was Andy Jane, sorry. And like the results are mega hard in places, isn't it? Like really good anglers like Blanken. And I don't think I want to be part of that. Same as like Evesham. I always think about fishing Evesham, but then I see some of the anglers fishing it and they're like really struggling for bites. I just think, nah, I just don't want to do that. We can have a barbecue at our lodge on Jenner's Lake. Wow, I probably got the best caravan mate, to be fair, which is Neil Richards, been a butcher. He'd probably like that, but we've got to be careful of our social distancing, innit, Elvis? So, yeah, maybe. What you got for dinner? Chicken and rice. Get food and get prep. Yeah, I do need to do some prep. Go and win the festival. Probably, I imagine my money's always going to be on Des to win that, to be fair. Ryan will take some beating as well. Quite lucky them two are in the same section. Well, same group. So, yeah, I might finish off. Yeah, I think that'd be it, to be honest. A few people have dropped out anyway. There's only 32 people watching. So, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I haven't been too monotone. Looking at my notes, I think I've answered all the questions. So yeah, I wish you a good night. Stay safe. Don't mean that corny. Just because a few restrictions have been lifted doesn't mean we can just go crazy. I mean, look at Kev Abigail, bless him. Early 50s, and he was in hospital for 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. Bless him. So. Definitely don't want to be catching the coronavirus. So, yeah. Anyway, catch you later. Bye.